Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Word With Zay Podcast, brought to you by Recovery. I am your host, Zaylen Harrell. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this morning. It is Friday, but when you guys see this, it will be Saturday. Or hear this, excuse me, whenever you hear this, it will be Saturday. We are going camera off this week because y'all, it has truly been a week. I did not feel like dressing the part. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get down to it. So the reason why I say it's been a rough week is because Tuesday I wake up and I wake up my normal time, early morning for my time of prayer and devotion, and I went to cough and I noticed it was like a burning sensation in my chest. So I was just like, Lord, what in the world is going on? And then as we went on throughout the day, around 12 o'clock that afternoon, I started feeling weak. So I was on the phone with my cousin and I told her, I said, let me get off the phone. I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. Y'all, worst mistake I could ever made in my life. I got on this couch and I laid down for an hour. When I woke up, I was shaking. I was shaking like I just got the Holy Ghost. I was about to freeze, and I ain't never been that cold ever in my life. And my worst fear has always been, like seizures. So I was like, Lord, please, God, don't let this be what I think it is. But I think it was because maybe just because of how high my fever may have been. But I have never, well, yes, I have. I felt this that bad before. On my 19th birthday, I felt literally that exact same way. The same way I felt this week, mainly Tuesday and Wednesday, is how I felt on my 19th birthday. I was super weak whenever I would stand up, and I would stand, just standing, not even walking, y'all, just standing. I literally would start losing energy and losing strength, and I would literally be about to fall out. I would get weak, and then whenever I would sit down, it's like the room would start spinning. I would start losing hearing in my ear. I would start hearing my ear ring, hear like a ringing in my ear, and I could literally hear my heartbeat in my ear. That's just how weak I was, and that's how I felt this Tuesday, and that's how I felt on my 19th birthday. Except for my 19th birthday, it was a stomach bug. I'm guessing maybe it was the flu this go around because I didn't have the stomach bug. I didn't have the vomiting and the using the restroom and all of that stuff like I did then. But like weakness and drowsiness and stuff, like I had that to the max this week. But all is well. We on the mend, and I'm currently sitting here drinking water, trying to stay hydrated because like it was bad. But I kept taking Dayquil, NyQuil, Nelsum, and let me just say this. And no, this is not a promotion, but Nelsum, if y'all want me to promote you, holla at me. Thank you. Um, if you guys have never tried Nelsum, you missing out. If you have a cough, get you a box of Nelsum, a bottle of Nelsum, and I prefer the orange flavor. I thought that other cough medicines were good, but y'all, Delsum is where it's at. Delsum will take the cough away. But now, I don't know now. I don't know. Because I've had this little cough that I have here now. I've had it for a minute this week. And I've been taking Nelson, and it ain't went nowhere, so I don't know. I think Nelson might be slipping on a brother right now. But any other time, it would clear it right on up. So if y'all ever get sick and start having a cough or something, go get you some Nelson, and I promise you, it'll hit the spot. Hey, just give me 1 second, just one. Why ain't you following us on our social medias? Why haven't you downloaded the podcast? Why? And I need to know. Huh? Huh? Exactly. There's no excuse. So this is what I need from you guys. I need for you to go right now. Before we get back to this show, I need for you to go to Instagram and I need you to go to TikTok. In the search bar, I need for you to type in a.p.inc media _. It'll pop right on up there. Just hit the follow button. And then I need for you to slide right on over. It's right there across the street from it. It's right there on Podcast Avenue. You'll see it as soon as you turn left from Social Media Street. Turn left and you'll see it. Podcast Avenue. Big old sign. The Word With Zay Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart Radio, Amazon Music. And you can also slide it on YouTube as well if you want to watch it visually. But I need for you guys to go to those platforms, wherever you would like to tune in, and go and hit that follow button and also download. Alright, love you guys. Let's get back to the show. Deuces. Alright, guys. As you all are aware, TikTok is back, baby. I ain't gonna lie. I was hurt, but then again, I wasn't hurt because at the same time, social media, I know, will eventually, it may eventually go away. So I wasn't really sad. I was kind of hurt whenever I got the notification that it was banned because I was scrolling. I refreshed my screen. I can't remember why I refreshed my screen, but I refreshed it for something. Whenever I went back, that mug said it was banned, and I was hurt. Now I was hurt, but all is well. It was back the next day, thank God. A 24-hour turnaround. Come on, and y'all. Ever since that ban, I did a video. Y'all get ready to lose it when I say this. I did a video with a sound that got maybe 700 views at first on a video that I did, and I used a lid to a bowl as a tambourine. And this video that I done recently, I actually did it Monday. I used my shoe. At first I was gonna use a skillet, but I said, you know what, that's a little too heavy. And then whenever I looked, I seen my shoe. I said, let me do my shoe. Let me see how this goes. So I used my shoe as a tambourine. Let me just say, I ain't trying to call myself churchy, but y'all, I know how to turn something into a tambourine in a minute. I will turn anything into a tambourine. Ask my mama. I will turn a doggone clothes hanger into a tambourine. Cause that's just me. I love me a good tambourine. That's just me. But I made that video, and it's literally got almost 50,000 views as we speak. And all I can think is, who would have thought that me standing in front of a camera using my shoe as a tambourine would get me so many views? I never would have guessed that. But what I can honestly say is that the things that we don't think are worth something are the things that we don't think would grow will. It's whenever you least expect it is whenever it happens. And that's what happened for me on TikTok. I did not think that video was going to do numbers like that, and it did. And I am extremely grateful. But you know what? Whenever I got to thinking about it, I began to understand, like it's no coincidence that happened, that those numbers grew like that, because that is what I prayed for. I have prayed for growth. I have prayed for prosperity. I have prayed for longevity. Excuse me. With my social platforms, I have prayed for that. So I count it all joy. I don't count it no coincidence. This is the Lord's doing, and I am grateful for it. So make sure that y'all go and follow us. It's AP Inc. Media underscore APINCMEDIA underscore. Go follow us on TikTok. Go like some of our content. Give us a comment. And also repost and hit that follow button. Y'all, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers so that way I can sign up for TikTok Shop. So that way I can start doing like promotion videos for TikTok. And what I'm going to do, I have a conference coming up in July, and I usually go shopping for that conference around June. And so, what I'm going to do is whenever I go shopping for that conference, I'm going to do like hauls and stuff. Because last year, I shopped from Ross, and y'all, they had some really good stuff in that store. And Ross, if y'all want to sponsor the podcast, hit me up. I'm down. Let's do it. Uh, seriously, y'all, on a serious note, Ross is where it's at. They have such good clothes. And whenever I tell y'all, literally the only thing that I did not get from Ross out of all my clothes that I bought for this conference last year, it was a pair of shorts and my dress shoes because I think it's that Friday night. Excuse me, Friday night, not Saturday night. That Friday night. I can't talk. That Friday night we dress up in like formal attire. Um, so I got my shoes from another place and one pair of shorts, but everything else I got from Ross. And y'all, they had some really good stuff, and I believe it was the Ross in Rockingham. Yeah, Rockingham. And I didn't think they had good stuff. Like I've been in Ross multiple times, like with my mama whenever she would go shop. But for me to go in there and shop myself, and to be able to really go in there and see what all they have, especially for the men. Like I did not realize they had all of those clothes that they had for men, and they do, and it's some nice stuff in there, y'all. So, fellas, if y'all want to go and y'all want to go get some clothes that's not too pricey, go to Ross. I'm telling you, they got some good stuff. I may go back there. That may be where I go get my outfits from this year, just like I did last year. But as I was saying, whenever I go and get my outfits for the conference for this year, I am going to do a haul so that way I can start getting those videos out there showing off clothes and promoting outfits and stuff like that, so that way TikTok can see that that is what I'm doing, so that way hopefully they can accept my request to join TikTok Shop to be a, I'm guessing it's promoter, creator, seller, something like that. But I was doing research on it, and it said you had to have 1,000 followers. So, guys, please, please, please do me a favor. And while you're listening to this episode, you can actually do it, especially if you're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music. I don't know too much about YouTube. Usually it lets you do it, but then sometimes YouTube like to play crazy. But I know for sure the other platforms, it's just audio. So you can exit out, well, not exit out, but kind of close out the app that you're on while it's still playing, and you can go to the description of the episode and go and click on our TikTok. Click on our TikTok link and go give us a follow. We got some great content up there, some content that we have on the way. I'm planning to do more Uncle Leroy content. Remember, I told y'all in the first episode I was not going to close the door on that character unless well, not unless I wasn't gonna close the door on that character, and I was gonna embrace every opportunity that I get showcase that character. Basically, is what I said in the first episode. And I was thinking the other day, I want to promote that character more. And I don't know why. Lord knows all things. I don't know. Lord, you know, because I don't. But I was thinking the other day, like, I really want to promote that character a little bit more. Because I noticed, I went through and I seen those numbers from the content that I done with Uncle Leroy, even last year. And I seen how those numbers just increased and how you guys loved and supported that character. Of course, I did, other characters. I did Uncle Leo, I did Chris, but you guys really, really, really loved Uncle Leroy, and I thank God for that. I thank God for the gift to be able to create. That takes talent, and I'm so grateful. And I don't count that, but I don't count it boastful. But I am humbled by the gift that God has given me. And my only prayer in this year and years to come that He continues to progress me. He continues to stretch me in my craft. It continues to, expand my territory when it comes to creating and business and content and podcasting, because that's what I want to do. I want to be a full-time content creator, and I want to be a full-time podcast host. And I know that eventually that's going to come. Right now, we are sitting on, I believe it's 37 downloads with this podcast. And remember, I told y'all, once we hit 10,000 downloads, y'all, we'll be able to be sponsored. So I am definitely working towards being sponsored. I'm definitely working towards those numbers growing. And like I told y'all also, it's not a numbers thing for me. I just want to make sure. The only reason why I focus on the numbers is because that lets me know that my platform is reaching those that needs to be reached. So it's not a numbers thing for me, but I do pay attention to the numbers. It's good for me to pay attention to the numbers, but it's not a numbers thing for me. My goal is to encourage, uplift, inspire, and also bring laughter and joy. Because like I told y'all, the same way I bring laughter and joy to y'all, in turn, that helps me. Seeing y'all laugh, seeing y'all have joy from the content that I bring you guys weekly, that helps me. So make sure that you guys are following us on Instagram, following us on TikTok, subscribing to us on YouTube, and also make sure that you go and download the podcast on those platforms, and also make sure that you turn on your notifications so that way you'll be notified on every platform whenever we upload, and on TikTok and Instagram as well, and YouTube. So I really want to get into this documentary, and I said I wasn't going to talk about it because I didn't know what everybody would say. Oh, Zaylen, that's old, man. Why are you talking about that? Listen, hush, hush. I just found it. It's new to me. It came out in 2023, so it is pretty old. It's like 2 years old. But it is the George Forman story. It's on Netflix. And y'all, it is really, really good. And I encourage you to go and watch it. And just to give you guys, hold on, I'll give you guys a brief synopsis of it. Hold on, let me grab my phone. But like it is really, 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 really good. And I encourage you guys, if you all have Netflix, and I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else, but if you have Netflix, go and watch it because it is really, really good. It is really a good story. Now it's 2 hours long, but it is really, really good. And this is the synopsis From Olympic gold medalist to world heavyweight champion boxer George Forman leads a remarkable life. He finds his faith, retires, and becomes a preacher. When financial hardship hits his family and church, George steps back in the ring and regains the championship at age 45. 45, y'all, becoming the oldest heavyweight champion in boxing history. Y'all, that story, oh my gosh. And I had never heard of it, but I was just laying in here while I was sick, still sick. I was just laying in here. I couldn't sleep. So I was just scrolling through trying to find something to watch. And I was scrolling through Netflix and I seen it. I said, you know what, let me watch it. And y'all, it was really, really good. Like just seeing his story of how he went from homeless to boxing to being a pastor and then getting back into the ring. Like that was awesome. Like he built a community center for the youth. They had workout equipment, boxing equipment, basketball goals, just some like a rec center. And y'all, it was awesome. And I'm gonna put the link to the film in the description of this episode. So make sure that you guys go and watch it because y'all, it is truly awesome. It is a must watch. Now remember, it came out in 2023, but it's new to me because I just found out about it. Just found out about it actually yesterday. So make sure that you guys go and watch it. It is awesome. It is a great, great story. Just make sure that you have an open 2 hour slot on your schedule so that way you can be able to see it and really pay attention and watch it because, like I say, it does last for 2 hours, so it is pretty lengthy, but it is a really really good watch. Hey, just give me 1 second, just one. Why ain't you following us on our social medias? Why haven't you downloaded the podcast? Why? And I need to know. Huh? Huh? Exactly. There's no excuse. So this is what I need from you guys. I need for you to go right now. Before we get back to this show, I need for you to go to Instagram and I need you to go to TikTok. In the search bar, I need for you to type in a.p.inc media underscore. It'll pop right on up there. Just hit the follow button. And then I need for you to slide right on over. It's right there across the street from it. It's right there on Podcast Avenue. You'll see it as soon as you turn left from Social Media Street. Turn left and you'll see it. Podcast Avenue. Big old sign. The Word With Zay Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart Radio, Amazon Music. And you can also slide it on YouTube as well if you want to watch it visually. But I need for you guys to go to those platforms, wherever you would like to tune in, and go and hit that follow button and also download. Alright, love you guys. Let's get back to the show. Deuces. This is the end of the episode of the Word With Zay Podcast for this week. I know this episode is a little short, but guys, I'm still in recovery, but all is well. I'm doing better, but we'll have a longer episode next week. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys our word of the day. And plus, because it's Saturday, and I don't want to hold you guys too long because I'm pretty sure you guys have um, plans with your family, so I ain't gonna hold you too long today. But next Friday, get ready. We're gonna have us a good episode. And this episode was good too. But with that being said, the word of the day, let me try and see if I can find it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, right here. The word of the day is from Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 19. And let me also say, if you have not read the full chapter 12 of Romans, y'all are missing out. It is so good. My grandfather, he actually calls it an R an R12 Christian, and y'all, it is really good. He told me about it. I had never read the full chapter of Romans 12, but it is really really good. He told me about it, and I went and read it, and I literally read it every day after prayer and devotion and reading my usual scriptures and reading my devotional. I always close out my time of prayer and devotion with reading Romans 12 because I want to be an R12 Christian. And actually, I have the full chapter, Romans 12, on my calendar for this week as the word of the day, but I said I won't go read out the full script, the full chapter today because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. So, we will just read this here. Romans chapter 12, verse 19 reads like this: Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in, for your love, your support. Excuse me. Make sure that you guys go and download the podcast wherever you get your pods. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart Amazon Music. Make sure that you go and follow us on our Instagram, follow us on our TikTok. I'm going to put the link to all of those platforms here in the description of this episode, and also the link to our YouTube, and also the link to that George Forman film. So I'm going to put the link to that as well. Make sure that you guys continue to tune in weekly. Today was a little different. I know we usually upload on Fridays, but I pushed it to Saturday, just trying to get some other things done, trying to play catch up. So make sure that you guys tune in and listen. Make sure you guys go and download, follow, listen, share. And as always, until next time, stay blessed, stay tuned, because another episode of the Word With Zay podcast is coming soon. And that is our Word With Zay. Peace.